No, I didn't see him.
His connection is not very good. His connection is not very good. It takes long until whatever you say.
Have you bought him the bundles?
No. Should I?
Yeah, please. He's using very fake bundles. Like if you would do that like right now.
Are you connected with him? Tune in to the End FGM live show from Monday to Friday at 5:30 p.m. East African Time. Find and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at End FGM Live. Reach out to us for inquiries, to report a case, or to support the show on WhatsApp +254 73 400 7674.
All right, welcome to the End FGM Live. My name is Jeremiah Kipainoi, and today we are in Taita Taveta, a county which many would know, well, they are bordering the Kajiado as well as almost the southern part of this country as well. County that is having different communities. And today our guest is Pastor Samuel Melita, who will be joining us on phone. Lots of internet connection issues, but we will be having him on phone. Just reminding you that the NFGM Live show brings to you stakeholders that are working and speaking against FGM within different facets of this country, especially the 22 hotspot counties that have been identified or pinpointed here in Kenya. My name is Jeremiah Kipainoi, and this show is produced by Mwebia and Antonia Sophia, as well as Sunyanga Olengais. And today we will be talking to Pastor Melita, who will be talking to us about the issues that he faces on the ground. He is a pastor, and he has had to deal with some of these issues as they are brought to him in the grassroots. So he will be joining us on phone in a few minutes. But before then, I'm just encouraging you to leave your comments wherever you are, and we will have this discussion further. So as we continue, please remember that you can use the hashtag #FGMLive, and we will be definitely having this conversation with more people. Please feel free to tag your friends, as well as just leave your comments wherever you are watching from. All right, we are live on Facebook, on Twitter, as well as on YouTube. So we'll just take a short break, add our guest, and when we come back, we'll be ready to have this conversation.
Tune in to the End FGM live show from Monday to Friday at 5:30 p.m. East African Time. Find and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at End FGM Live. Reach out to us for inquiries, to report a case, or to support the show on WhatsApp +254 73 400 7674.
All right, we're back. This is the End FGM Live, and we are joined by Pastor Sam Melita from Taita Taveta, and we just have this conversation about what really is happening in regards to FGM, as well as children's rights in that region. He's just going to be joining us on phone because of internet connection issues. And so on the screen now, as you can see, we are able to have a conversation with Pastor Melita, and I just quickly introduce yourself, Pastor. Who are you basically, and where are you talking to us from?
Yeah, my name is Samuel Melita.
All right.
I'm from Taita Taveta County.
All right.
I'm at Taveta Sub-County.
All right.
Now.
All right.
A place called Orkungu.
Orkungu.
Orkungu, Jipe Masaini.
All right.
Yes.
All right. And Taita Taveta, there have been it's one of the 22 hotspot FGM hotspot counties in Kenya, and I was wondering, how is the situation there? You are a pastor, and you of course have ended up dealing with FGM and children issues in general. How is the situation like in that regard in Taita Taveta?
Yeah, I think the situation is a bit hot.
All right.
especially right now due to this COVID-19
Okay.
coronavirus.
Yeah.
Since the children are at home,
Yeah.
yeah, we have been seeing a lot of child neglect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe the parents are releasing their children just walking around, and according to that, I think it's a bit causing a lot of a big mess.
Yeah.
Right now because of the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, in here in the location where I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was communicating with one of the nurses around here.
Yeah.
In a dispensary since January to June now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen 13 cases.
Of FGM.
13 cases within a sub-location.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of FGM.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we are trying to tackle and always have a counseling, talking to the parent concerned.
Yeah.
But still, the rate is coming is very big.
So you're saying that in the area where you are, there have been 13 cases within 2 months, if I got you right.
Yeah, 3 months. Yeah.
Within 3 months.
3 months. Yeah.
All right. And looking at the size of a ward, that's actually quite a number, considering this is in an area where the community you're talking about is it native to that area?
Yes, they are native. Yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. I just like you to paint for us a picture of how does it look like being in the End FGM campaign in Taita Taveta? Who is on the ground? Who is working on the ground?
Pardon?
I just wanted you to paint for us a picture of who basically is working on the ground. Are there NGOs? Are there CBOs? Is the government working against FGM in that county?
Yeah, they are there.
All right.
Yes.
How is it working with the government? If you would say maybe are there any interventions that you've seen that the government is taking?
Yeah, they are really working.
Yeah.
They are really cooperating with the government.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think last 2 months ago I reported a case.
Yeah.
And they really helped me.
All right.
Yeah, and I thank for that because I called them and then immediately they come and the case they caught the mother and the father.
Yeah.
And they are taken to the court of law, and I think the case is okay.
Okay, that's very important because we understand that you have been in this campaign basically talking about children and just trying to protect them from child marriages as well as FGM. There are also issues of child pregnancy in Taita Taveta. I don't know how prevalent that is when you look at it, but would you paint for me a picture of what are some of the factors that contribute to child marriages as well as FGM?
I think as traditional beliefs and matters.
All right.
Yeah, because especially in this community, Ma community, which are Maasai.
All right.
They usually marry at a very early age, 13.
All right.
And that's the big problem I have here, I'm facing.
All right.
Yeah, because like right now, during March, the month of March to June now.
Yeah.
I have 2 cases.
Yeah. Of child marriages?
Yeah, of child marriages. One was yesterday.
Yesterday, okay.
Yes, I went there and talked to them and disagree with them with the customary they are doing.
Yeah.
I find them. It was a form 2 girl.
A form 2 girl.
A form 2 girl from high school. Yeah.
That's about around 15 or 16 years old.
Yeah, 16 years.
Okay.
So I told them this is not good and I'm not going to allow.
Yeah.
And Yes, they pause, but I'm not sure whether it is just they are just cooling for a while and then they wait for me to be away. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think within the Maasai community, that is the big problem they have.
Okay. And the Maasai community, I'd say, or population is not the biggest community in Taita Taveta. How much area do you cover in Taita?
I'm covering a location.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is consisted of 5 tribes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it a problem that only affects one community?
No.
All right.
No, because I have the Kambas here, and that community, they usually practice a lot of child abuse.
All right.
Yeah, even during this time of coronavirus, they find some of them, the children are going to charcoal burning, which is very, very, very bad.
Okay, lots of charcoal burning, basically child labor.
Child labor, yeah.
Also looking at the Maasai community in that regard, you also know that most of the children are now, at home and not in school. And that predisposes them to all day looking after animals as well.
Yeah, that's what they are doing right now.
Okay.
Yes, so you find all the boys from early in the morning to the evening at 6.
Yeah.
That's the time they come back at home, and they are very young, so they're looking a herd of cattle.
Yeah.
And that. Yeah.
Just painting a picture to someone who hasn't experienced how life is in the ground or on the ground. What would you say would be the situation in regards to girls going back to school? Do you think all the girls will be able to go back to school after this pandemic?
Yeah. Pardon?
Do you think all children will be able to go back to school after this pandemic? Or
No, I don't think.
All right.
I don't think, according to the situation right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very hard because of. I think also the area itself.
All right.
The environment matters a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the parents have been knowing that the children are at school for a long time. Then right now the children are at home for 3 months.
Yeah. So
it's like the children have become a burden to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and others like the one of yesterday, the girl is not pregnant.
Yeah.
But the parent is saying that my girl is now big.
Yeah.
So she can go and file for his own boma.
So they want to marry the girl off because they believe that the girl is now old enough?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Staggering one. We'll take a short break and come back. Today we are joined by Pastor Samuel Melita from Orkungu Baptist in Taita Taveta. And we're just talking about how it is like at this time of COVID-19 in regards to ending FGM in that county. Short break. We'll come back and we will continue with our conversation.
Tune in to the End FGM live show from Monday to Friday at 5:30 p.m. East African Time. Find and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at End FGM Live. Reach out to us for inquiries, to report a case, or to support the show on WhatsApp +254 73 400 7674.
All right, we're back. This is the End FGM Live, and we are in Taita Taveta today. And I'm speaking to Pastor Samuel Melita. And just straight to you, Pastor, as you join us. For those who are joining us right now, Pastor Melita is joining us all the way from Taita Taveta, and he's joining us on phone because of internet connectivity issues. And so, Karibu Sana are back again, Pastor Melita, talking about COVID-19. what's the situation like? How many, or do you have any statistics or any information about how many people who have been confirmed, and how is that affecting the communities there?
Yeah, to this place, COVID-19, they have taken it as like just as a hearsay.
All right. They're not taking it
Because,
seriously?
Yes. We don't have any neighbor or a person we know, especially,
All right.
that we can say that is affected by the COVID. But we have that case of the border. We are living around the border.
The Kenya-Tanzania border?
Kenya-Tanzania border through Taveta.
All right.
Yeah, so that's where it's like a hotspot. The drivers from outside the country.
All right.
Yeah, we are hearing that some are there in a quarantine.
All right.
Yeah.
Speaking about that, we know that this pandemic has affected different types of businesses as well as institutions like schools. I was just wondering, how has it really affected how children are adapting to it right now, and families? How has it affected the community generally?
Yeah, it has affected the community a lot. Since now in our within the locality,
all right,
when they heard about the COVID, some of them the fear, they have instilled the fear in them.
Yeah,
they are not even able to walk outside and go to look for food.
All right.
So you find them just saying that even the business, our main business here is selling cows.
Mm-hmm. Cows, yeah.
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 And now they don't have any place to take their cows.
Yeah.
Because you find that some selling places, the market now is no longer there. They have closed up the market.
Yeah.
So find them just going outside and call someone to come in the boma and buy one or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you find them, the movement, it has restricted the movement of people to look for food. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm just looking at the situation as it is right now. There are many activities that were running and are not running right now. And talking about organizations that may be working on the ground, I do not know how much information you have about this, as you are mostly working with the church and, of course, the community directly. But are there any organizations that have provided any sort of help in regards to just engaging the communities before, or supporting the communities even during this time of COVID-19?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, the county government also has already distributed food here.
All right.
Yeah, and the national government also.
All right.
Yeah, even supplying water.
Yeah.
Because we don't have this clean source of water.
Okay.
So we usually use a boozer to bring water for us so that we can buy a jerrycan for 20 liters or 20 shillings.
All right.
Yeah, so we have seen even the World Vision are there.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming to support the children.
All right.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, they have come and bring sanitizers to the community.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the mask.
All right.
Yeah, so the organizations are trying to sort out the situation.
Okay. Okay, because that's very important when you speak about organizations that are actually on the ground at this time, as we know that sometimes the community might not get the helps or the help that it might need, especially these pastoralist communities that are sometimes torn apart by droughts, as well as just the normal movement, and that really affects their lives. Just on that, Pastor, looking at it, we know that there are different communities, as you had said, in that area. What really is the major challenge when you look at issues regarding children? I know FGM is there, child marriage spreads, even on a wider scope, while speaking about the communities that practice it. Which is really the biggest challenge that is affecting the children right now?
Right now, the children is child marriage.
All right.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem they are facing, because all the communities are practicing, and there's that early marriages they are practicing here.
All right. And are there any interventions that have been taken in that regard?
Yeah, for now, it's like there's no any attention that has been drawn.
All right.
Yeah, it's like the school, the parents are waiting for the school to be reopened.
Okay.
I think that's when we are going to face the consequences and see how many children have not attended or come back to school.
Yeah.
I think by that time, that's when the local leaders will realize that there's a very big mess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very important. We know that different factors predispose these communities to practicing what they do. Some of them say it's cultural, but when you look deeply, most of them would end up talking about poverty. Some of them will just talk about needs. Which are the biggest contributing factors for your community and the people that you basically minister to? Which is the biggest contributing factor to things like FGM?
Things like FGM?
Yes.
I think it's just the tradition.
All right.
Yeah, they have that belief of that for you to be married or for you to be an adult and accepted to the community,
yeah,
you must be circumcised.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's difficult. While saying you're going to approach this community at this time, while speaking still about that, to you have dealt with real cases. You have talked to parents and children as well. You've worked with law enforcers as well. Which would be the biggest contributor or the best solution to ending FGM in your area?
Yeah, I think right now I was thinking of because it is a ritual.
All right.
We need to maybe allow them to make a ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that kind, instead of mutilating or just cutting of the body.
Yeah.
No, we need to just tell them to celebrate, but there is no that kind of cutting.
Yeah.
I think for right now I have 4 girls.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we have done.
Yeah.
We just organized for a ceremony.
Yeah.
We changed their clothing, and there's that kind of clothes they should wear.
Yeah.
The black one.
Yeah.
We say that tomorrow we are going to celebrate on these girls because they are going to another stage.
Yeah.
That's what we did, and it has worked well.
Yeah.
And now I have the 4 girls.
Yeah.
We usually work with them and educate others and bring friends to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thank God because they have already accepted. Yeah.
Wow. You are a religious leader, and we often speak about religious leaders looking at probably the Islamic religion, but
Yeah.
I know that sometimes you find yourself having to explain on biblical terms why it is not right to practice FGM. Do you think really speaking out as a pastor is impactful within these communities that are still holding on strongly to their culture, and some of them actually still believe in their traditional African religion?
Yeah, of course we do that. We do teach them according to the Bible.
All right.
And most of them, because a big number is outside the church.
Okay.
But to those who are in the church, everything is okay to them.
All right.
And I think it's the light of the whole community.
All right.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you. Short break. We'll come back. And when we do, we will be wrapping up. But
Yeah.
keep your comments coming. We'll be very happy to hear what you have to say when we come back, as we are also concluding this show. This is the End FGM Live, and today we are in Taita Taveta speaking to Pastor Samuel Melita.
Tune in to the End FGM live show from Monday to Friday at 5:30 p.m. East African Time. Find and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at End FGM Live. reach out to us for inquiries, to report a case, or to support the show on WhatsApp +254 73 400 7674.
All right, you're back. This is the End FGM Live, and today we are in Taita Taveta with Pastor Samuel Melita, and we are talking about what the FGM situation is in that county. To be honest, it's very difficult to actually get people who are working against FGM in this county, yes, according to our experience. So with different communities, there needs to be more concerted efforts in that regard. But still on that, I'm just going to bring back Pastor Melita on the screen. He's joining us on phone from Taita Taveta. And to you, Pastor, I'm just going to ask a question. What would be that one thing that you would say if you had all resources and all political goodwill, community access? What is that one thing that you would do to end FGM in Taita Taveta?
Pardon, Pastor?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
If you had all resources, if you had all the political goodwill and access to the community, what is that one thing that you would say if people did, or what is that one thing that you would say you would do to end FGM in Taita?
In Taita Taveta, I think the best thing is right now we have the situation is not as easy like that because of the pandemic.
All right.
But post-pandemic, I think when the children went back to school,
all right,
I think everything, because like here in Taita Taveta, most of the schools are boarding schools for girls.
All right.
Yeah, and others for boys. But the situation, when the girls are at school, I think they are in a safer place than at home.
All right.
Yeah, because the situation now is a bit confusing. So it's very hard for us to say that we can contain right now because of the distancing, and we cannot even sit together and discuss some important issues at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest problem now we have, because many of the youth, you met them on the way, just walking.
All right.
Girls and boys just moving together, but there's no time for them to sit together with us, and we discuss some issues so that we can see how things can be solved.
Okay. So for you, if you had all resources, what is that one thing that you would say? I forget the pandemic at this time. What is the best way to approach ending FGM in that region?
Yeah, I think it's only mobilization I can mobilize.
All right.
Yeah, I mobilize them, the whole community, and I select the team that I have.
All right.
And to make sure that they can even stand in front of them and tell the best of them being not circumcised or being married early.
Okay.
Yeah, as I told you there before that I have 4 girls.
Yeah.
Right now, the biggest one is 18 years, who is at Form 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's like she will be a star to this place that can walk around the world or even the location to educate the others.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually use them, and they have already have their T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just written ending FGM.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Elizabeth Pratt says, has the pastors' community been accepting of an alternate ceremony for girls instead of FGM? Are the girls who go through the ceremony then accepted by their community? As you bring this to a close, Pastor, just a question that's being asked from Facebook. Has the community been accepting an alternative ceremony for the girls instead of FGM? And are the girls who go through the ceremony then accepted by their community?
Yeah, I think, yes, it is accepted because, right now, because the community has already know what the law says about circumcision or FGM.
Yeah.
Now they are the parent of the girl.
Yeah.
For me to make him part and parcel of the community or her,
Yeah.
I have to sit and talk to her,
Yeah.
the mother.
Yeah.
We agree that tomorrow, just announce to the community that my child, I have a ceremony that my child is now coming to another level.
Yeah.
You take that child inside the house.
Yeah.
Spend a week there.
Yeah.
Just eating and doing some inside, being indoor.
Yeah.
Now, for that 1 week, now the girl can come outside just normal.
All right.
And now from there, the whole community, because they have come and eat the food,
Yeah.
now they agree and accepted that the girl is now okay.
Okay, there's one that I'd like to ask before we bring this to a close, Pastor, and that would be, you spoke about most of the schools actually being, for girls being boarding schools, and this is a conversation that we've had in the past, that schools are safer than homes. First of all, is that the situation? Before I ask the question.
Yeah, I think the schools are more safer than at home.
And so I believe that homes actually should be the safest place where children should be in the long run. What should be done to make sure that children are safe with their parents, with their relatives, with those who are close to them?
Yeah, I think to me, according to the environment,
yeah,
I think the environment matters, because within here, according to the tradition of this, maybe the Maasai and other communities, you find a father or the girls used to go outside their homes and sleep outside their home because they cannot sleep the same house with their parents.
All right.
So I think, but I think here within the community is not safe.
All right.
But when they are in school, I think the girls can be safe.
So the girls cannot share the same house with their fathers?
With their parents, according to the tradition, yeah.
So the children sleep outside normally?
Yeah, they have to maybe went to the grandparent
All right.
house, and there, within the grandparent house, anybody can access that house, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And just to paint a picture of how this will actually be among the Maasai setup is, you hardly have one house accommodating the entire family, because it's a very communal setup. So thank you very much for that. I just want to bring this to a close right now, Pastor. But before we do so, I just have a quick question to you. If people want to reach out to you and learn more about Taita Taveta in regards to ending FGM, how would they do so?
They can call me.
All right.
Yeah, through my number.
All right.
Which is 0712.
All right.
027.
All right.
383.
All right. Is there any alternate way where they could reach out to you if they are reaching out from outside the country? Maybe an email or social media platform?
Yeah, maybe WhatsApp.
All right.
Yeah, through that number that I've given there.
All right, +254, then the number he's given out there. Thank you very much. This is at the end of FGM Live. I just want to bring this to a close, just asking questions regarding FGM. Thank you very much for joining us today, Pastor, and giving us so much knowledge in regards to what is happening, at least in your region, and how you are dealing with your with the community that is basically looking up to you in regards to giving guidance in the region you live in, Taita Taveta. We'll be back again with the end of FGM Live in Embu, and we will be wrapping up the 22 hotspot counties thereafter. Please remember to tweet, comment, and leave any questions that you have, and we always try to our best to answer them live and off air as well. My name is Jeremiah Kipainoi. This show has been produced by Tony Mwebia and Antonia Sophia, as well as Sonia Ngolengais. As we bring this to a close, just remember to keep yourself and your family safe at this time of COVID-19. Till tomorrow, stay safe. And when we come back, we will be still talking about FGM and how it's affecting children's lives and maybe best ways to end it in the specific regions we are working in. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Tune in to the End FGM live show from Monday to Friday at 5:30 p.m. East African Time. Find and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at End FGM Live. Reach out to us for inquiries, to report a case, or to support the show on WhatsApp +254 73 400 7674.